I see one of my old coaches I played for 30 years ago. It's still hard for me to be the only gay man in a room with a bunch of baseball people.
He was an All-American kid. He just was.
All my life, all I ever wanted to do was make my dad proud of me. I got married right out of college, and I found myself, I was in the big leagues at 22 years old.
Deep drive, right center field, Billy Beane, grand slam.
He was a really good player. Could hit, had power, had great speed.
And as an outfielder, he was amazing.
That is gonna be caught by Billy Beane. What a sensational catch.
But you just sensed there was some tension or darkness that he was carrying around.
I was playing for the Padres and hiding somebody, pretending they didn't exist in my life, and it wasn't easy.
I think Billy became very good at segregating two distinct parts of his life.
Caught by Billy Beane.
And I think he, at times in the locker room and on the field, was acting.
We were raised in a very tough, strict Catholic environment. There was nowhere to go.
Maybe somehow I gave the false impression that something like that would bother me.
One of the great regrets of my life is not trusting this sport to be supportive.
We were very close. It kind of pains me now to think about kind of what he was going through.
Accidentally, my story came out. And I never planned on coming out. I certainly didn't want to be famous for being gay. But that's exactly what happened to me.
How afraid were you every day someone would learn your secret?
I can only imagine what it feels like to be a fugitive. I felt like it was tattooed on my forehead and everyone's going to be able to see or understand or know.
That's when everybody started looking back and saying, okay, now things start making sense.
I was there in spring training in '94 with the Padres, and we often talk about, this is your family. Well, in that case, it really should have been.
I wish we could have talked about it, just for his sake.
The team we played on in San Diego probably would have handled it fairly well considering the cast of players that we had there, but there would have been people upset by it. And I certainly understand why Billy kept it to himself.
Billy described it this way for me one time. He said, I played center and right field in Yankee Stadium. And he said, you cannot believe how brutal the Yankee fans are. Can you imagine what would happen if they would have known that I was a gay ball player,
I've lived my whole life being embarrassed, being ashamed. The idea of walking through a clubhouse and having my former teammates judge me was probably the greatest fear of my life. So after all those years of hiding who I was from the game I love, I've come full circle. Now my job is to make sure others in baseball don't make the same mistakes or travel down the same road I did.
He's an All-American guy that lived the All-American dream with a secret.
My path, trying to forgive myself and believe that by talking about it, maybe others won't make that same mistake. I think that's the reason why I do it.